The MAGA project is bloated and paranoid. It's full of backstabbers and grifters. The opening months of Trump's second term felt like a speed run of every authoritarian fever dream. Trump comes back into office insisting he has a sweeping mandate. He purges civil servants whose loyalties lie with their country rather than him personally. He gives Project 2025's founders free rein. He surrounds himself with a bench full of tech world oligarchs. For a while, it works. The right-wing culture war superfans are ecstatic. Now, the average voter isn't paying close attention just yet. They just see a guy who said he'd bulldoze the things that are making their lives shitty, and to his credit, it looks like he's actually bulldozing something. And who knows if it's good, but at least they can finally see some kind of change from the government. But it's been almost a year of Trump v2, and what we're seeing now is a would-be authoritarian regime bogged down by internal knife fights, lawsuits, broken promises, and a growing chorus of allies who've decided that self-preservation matters a whole lot more than loyalty to the man in the high tower. How did we get here? I think what a lot of people on the left miss is that, in particular, the 2024 Trump coalition was surprisingly diverse. They eagerly brought anyone into the tent. Q-pilled zealots, the bored and apolitical, people obsessed with the Epstein files, and people who just remembered that life felt a lot less chaotic from 2017 until the pandemic. And sure, some were motivated by extremes like ultranationalism, nihilism, or xenophobia, but the new coalition was actually propelled to victory by those whose votes were informed by growing rents and grocery bills. But therein lies the problem. It's almost impossible to open your tent that wide and still give everyone what they thought they were promised. It's even harder when your real goal is grift and power. Trump's tariff tantrums and chaotic budget cuts start hitting regular people where it hurts the most. Rent, groceries, car payments. His "I'll end the Ukraine war in 24 hours" turns into groveling pleas for Ukraine to accept what amounts to a surrender plan written in Moscow. Gaza is a hellscape, and now we're flirting with direct war against Venezuela, presumably for oil and as a useful distraction from the Epstein files. So the authoritarian machine isn't falling apart for lack of power, but without any real guiding principles from the king, the shaky coalitions built on fighting wokeness suddenly remember that they actually hate each other. And all this while a growing contingent of actual neo-Nazis begins to infect the Republican mainstream. So what happens next? It's still unclear, but Trump's aura of invincibility seems to actually be fading. The Epstein cover-up looks genuinely bad, even to the ultra-MAGA types. Republicans watched off-year elections in 2025 become rebukes of Trumpism, and so Republicans are finally starting to imagine life after Donald Trump, because regular people who voted for him because they were hurting are now watching groceries spike, allies die overseas, neighbors being dragged off in raids, and a president twisting himself into knots to protect rich. And so some of these people are open for the first time to the idea that Trump's art of the deal has just been a con from the start. And that's where a real opposition has to live. We can't waste time lecturing people or chastising them for voting the way they did. We need to give them an off-ramp, a politics that says, yes, the system is broken, and here's a way to actually make your life better without throwing away democracy in the process. The MAGA project is bloated and paranoid. It's full of backstabbers and grifters, and its weakened state might just be a chance for a new political order to rise. One that sees democracy as non-negotiable and that focuses fiercely on building abundance rather than managing scarcity. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rebecca Rowan, and this is For the Republic, a project aimed at breaking past the attention economy's addiction to outrage.